Hello students, in this lecture we go through those sums of miscellaneous exercise 5 which deal with the scalar triple product. In the previous lecture we had already begun the product and we had seen how to use the formula for the scalar triple product. Now here in this exercise it is question number 2 on page number 193 of your textbook and sum number 41. We begin with this particular sum. The question is find the volume of the parallelepiped spanned by the diagonals of the three faces of a cube of side A that meet at one vertex of the cube. So in this case, the diagram will come like this. Suppose we take O as the origin. Let OA, OB and OC be the three sides of the cube along the x-axis, OA along the x-axis, OB along the y-axis and OC along the z-axis. Now, the side of the cube is A. So, all the sides being equal, each side measures A units. So, as a result, as you can see over here, OA lies along the positive x-axis. So, the coordinates of A are A00, 0. Okay, O is the origin. So, let me write the coordinates here. So, from the figure and from the given data also, keep it in your mind. We have OA, length of OA, OB and OC as A, as they have given to us. Therefore, now O being the origin, the coordinates of O are 0, 0, 0. Now A lies along the x-axis. So, the coordinates of A are A0, 0. Similarly, in the same way, B lying along the y-axis, B becomes 0, A, 0. C lies along the z-axis, positive z-axis. So, OC lies along the positive z-axis and therefore the coordinates of C become 0, 0, A in this way. Now, what about the remaining coordinates? We can also find them, okay, if you remember certain things. Now, look at L. The point L lies, the edge L, that is the vertex L that is there, it lies along the YZ plane. Therefore, the coordinates of L in this case, they become, the x coordinate of L becomes 0 and the y coordinate and the z coordinate are A and A. Okay, so thus it becomes easy to find out all the coordinates which are there of all the points. So 0, A. Similarly, M. Now observe M. M lies along the XZ plane. So the coordinates of M are A0, A0, A. Similarly, N lies along the XY plane and therefore the coordinates of N become A0. And the point P which remains, the coordinates of P become, now P is a point in space, okay, and therefore the coordinates of P are AAA. It lies in front of all the three axes actually. So as a result it becomes AAA. So in this way we get all the coordinates of all the points. Now what about the diagonals? They have asked us to find the volume of a parallelepiped, okay, with respect to the diagonals formed by the diagonals of the three faces of a cube which meet at one vertex of the cube. So those diagonals with respect to O, the required diagonals are OL, this particular diagonal, that is OL, OM and ON. Okay, these three diagonals together form a parallelepiped and we are supposed to find the volume of this particular parallelepiped. So OL, OM and ON are the three diagonals of the cube . Meeting at O. meeting at vertex O. And therefore, we have these vectors, that is OL bar, O being the origin, OL bar is given by, from, look at the coordinates of L. So OL bar is given by AJ plus AK. Okay, if you write it in a proper manner, then we will be writing it as 0I, okay, 0I plus AJ plus AK. Okay, now I hope you are understanding the sum in a better manner. Similarly, OM bar becomes, with respect to M is A0A, so it becomes AI plus 0J plus AK. And similarly, ON, looking at the coordinates of N, okay, we are going to get AI plus AJ plus 0K. Then now, in this case, we find box products formed by the vectors OL, OM and ON. So box OL bar, OM bar and ON bar. This gives us the determinant of this way, that is IJK. No, we don't write IJK in this, isn't it? We just write the coordinates. We write the coefficients. So 0, A, A0, A and A0. Upon solving the determinant, 0 into anything is 0 and we get the second term as minus A into A into 0 becomes 0. So 0 minus A into A becomes A square. Plus the last term, that is A into, again A into A becomes A square minus A into 0 becomes 0. This way. So minus A into minus A square becomes A cube plus again A cube, which is 2A cube. Now the volume of a parallelepiped. You know that the volume of a parallelepiped with coterminous edges is given by the box product of those edges. So OL, OM and ON are the coterminous edges of the required parallelepiped. Therefore, the required volume is given as 2A cube cubic units. So thus we get our answer, that is it. The 42nd sum, if A, B, C are three non-coplanar vectors, then show that A dot B cross C upon C cross A dot B plus B dot A cross C upon C cross A dot B is equal to 0. It is actually really easy to prove it. So we take the LHS and A dot B cross C, the box product is A, B, C, isn't it? It can be written this way. Upon, the same thing can be done over here. C cross A dot B can be written as CAB. The same thing we'll be doing over here. Now, in this particular case, CAB, suppose we make a cyclic change in the position of all these three vectors. The value remains the same. This we have studied in the properties of scalar triple product. So as a result, we take A here, we take B in the place of A and C we bring it to the place of B. The value remains the same and we get the box product of A, B, C. The same rearrangements are done over here as well. This way, A is taken here, B is brought here and C is taken here. So that we get ABC. Okay, those two remain the same. So let us make that change first. And then we'll see what happens over here. Okay, so this becomes now ABC upon ABC. Remember, making a cyclic change does not change the value of the scalar triple product that is there. Again down we get A, B, C. Now to make this as ABC, we have to bring A here and take B over here. Now when we just interchange two of these vectors, the sign of the scalar triple product changes. So the plus sign becomes minus sign in the next step. So thus we are going to get ABC upon ABC minus, because why the minus sign came? Because we interchanged only A and B in this case. So ABC upon A, B and C. Now we know that the subtraction of both of these like terms becomes 0. Thus we get our RHS. Isn't it an easy sum? Now the 43rd sum deals with the vector triple product, which has been deleted by the board actually for this year. So we are not going to do that sum. 44th sum is easy, very easy if you read it and see. So I leave it as an assignment to you. We begin with the 45th sum here. So the question is, using the properties of the scalar triple product, prove that box A plus B, B plus C, C plus A is equal to 2 box ABC. So in this case, let us take the LHS. Now box A plus B, these are vectors, remember. So box A plus B, B plus C, C plus A can be written in the scalar triple product form as A plus B dot B plus C cross C plus A. And then in the next step, we keep A plus B as it is. And in this case, let me put a square bracket so that it will help you to distinguish. Now, B plus C cross C plus A, it is just like multiplying. So when we expand it, we get B cross C plus B cross A plus C cross C plus C cross A. In this way. Now C cross C is 0. The cross product of parallel vectors or similar vectors, equal vectors is 0. And therefore we get A plus B dot B cross C plus B cross A plus C cross A. Then in the next step, we expand both the brackets over here by writing A dot, we get A dot B cross C plus again A dot B cross A plus A dot C cross A. Again plus the same thing B dot, now this B dot B cross C plus B dot B cross A plus B dot C cross A. Now wherever similar vectors are there, the scalar triple product is going to be 0. So A dot B cross A, this term becomes 0. Similarly, A dot C cross A is 0. In the same way, this term becomes 0 and so does this one. So thus we end up with just these terms, that is A dot B cross C plus it is B dot C cross A. Which can be written as box ABC plus box BCA. Now, this becomes box ABC And in the second term, what we do is that we interchange, we do a cyclic change of the vectors actually, isn't it? So B comes here, C goes to the third position, and A comes to the first position. So all the three change their position, so the value does not change. So we get A, B, C without any change in sign over here. So ABC plus ABC, box ABC plus box ABC gives 2 box ABC, which is what we want in the RHS. Okay, thus we get our answer here. So that is what the sum is about. Now in the next sum, the 46th sum, if 4 points A, B, C and D are coplanar, then show that box ABD plus box BCD plus box CAD is equal to box ABC. Now, in this case, they have already given us the position vectors of A, B, C and D as A bar, B bar, C bar and D bar. So, we have AB bar is equal to B minus A, vector B minus vector A. Similarly, AC bar, we need AC bar for proving whatever they asked us. So, AC bar is equal to C minus A, vector C minus vector A, and AD bar is equal to D minus A. So this we already know. Also they have given us that A, B, C and D are coplanar. So by the property of coplanar vectors, we have box AB, AC and AD, the scalar triple product of AB, AC and AD is actually 0. Which means we have AB can be written as B minus A, AC C minus A and AD D minus A, and this is coming as 0 according to the property which we know just now. Now this can also be written as B minus A dot C minus A cross D minus A. Those who understood the previous sum will find it easy. Okay, we'll find it quite possible to understand this sum actually. So pay proper attention here. So we have B minus A dot. Now opening the brackets and expanding, C cross D minus C cross A minus A cross D minus into minus plus A cross A is equal to 0. Then in the next step, we have A cross A is 0 because we know the property, isn't it? So I don't have to tell you that A cross A is 0. So we have over here B minus A dot the remaining part okay. Now we open the bracket and both the brackets are open and we get B dot C cross D minus again B dot C cross A minus again B dot A cross D. Okay, and similarly minus A dot C cross D minus into minus plus A dot C cross A and again minus into minus plus A dot A cross D is equal to 0. Now wherever same terms are there, yes, we are going to put a 0 over there. Okay, so the similar terms are there over here in this scalar triple product and similarly over here as well. So both these terms become 0 and therefore we get the next step, which is B dot C cross D. We can write B dot C cross D as B C D minus, in this case, B C A. Okay, these three can be written as minus B, A, D, and the next term can be written as minus A, C, D is equal to 0. Now to prove whatever they want us to prove, we just rearrange these terms which is there. So BCD is there in the question. So we write it as BCD itself. Now minus BCA. Okay. This can be rearranged, and over here we get it as ABC. So the sign doesn't change. The position of all the three vectors is changing in this case. Okay, A is coming to the first place, B from the first place is going to the second place, and C is coming to the third place. So we get A, B, C. Okay, and in the third case, in the third vector, in the case of the third vector, okay, we need actually A, B, D, but we have B, A, D. So A comes here and B goes to the second place. We are just interchanging the position. As a result, the sign changes, it becomes plus. I hope you're understanding that. So it becomes plus. So we get A, B, D. And similarly, in the last vector, this vector, fourth vector that is there, okay, we need actually CAD. According to the question, we need CAD. Keep your textbooks open when you're doing these sums so that you can see the question also. So since we need CAD, we change the positions over here. C comes here and A comes here. So only two vectors are changing positions, and so the minus sign becomes again plus in this case. So we get CAD. Now we take minus ABC to the RHS, and thus we get what they asked us to prove. That is, we get BCD plus ABD plus CAD is equal to ABC. Thus we get our answer that is there in this case. Now the 47th question is an assignment for you because it is similar to the 45th and the 46th question. The 48th one, if in a tetrahedron the edges in each of the two pairs of opposite edges are perpendicular, then show that the edges in the third pair are also perpendicular. In this case, suppose OABC. Let OABC be the tetrahedron. Then the opposite edges are, look at the figure, the opposite edges are OA, BC. Then we have one more pair, that is OC, AB and OB, CA. So OB, CA and OC and AB. So these are the opposite edges. Now suppose we take O as the origin in this case. So let O be the origin. And let A bar, B bar and C bar be the position vectors of A, B and C respectively. So in this case, okay, we get OA, vector OA as A bar, OB as B bar and OC as C bar. Now, suppose we take the two pairs of edges, opposite edges as perpendicular. Suppose in this case, OA and BC and OB and CA are perpendicular to each other, are edges which are perpendicular to each other. Each other means OA is perpendicular to BC and OB is perpendicular to CA. So in this case, therefore we have OA dot in vector form OA dot BC. The dot product of perpendicular vectors is 0. So OA dot BC is 0. And from this we get OA means A bar, A dot C minus B is equal to 0. And so we can write that A dot C minus A dot B is equal to 0. Suppose it is a first statement. Also, we also have taken OB and CA as perpendicular. So OB bar dot CA bar is equal to 0, and therefore B dot A minus C is equal to 0. And from this we are going to get B dot A minus B dot C is equal to 0. Say this is our second statement. Now remember, in dot product, B dot A is the same as A dot B. Dot product is commutative. So when we add 1 and 2, we want to prove that the third pair of opposite edges are also perpendicular. So adding 1 and 2, when we add 1 and 2, minus AB minus A dot B plus B dot A, both of them cancel out, they become 0. We get A dot C minus B dot C is equal to 0, which can also be written as this way. That is, C being common, C bar dot A minus B is equal to 0. Or if you take a minus sign outside, we can just change the order. Minus C dot B minus A as 0. And the minus sign going to the RHS, we get C dot B minus A is equal to 0. Now from this, C means OC bar and B minus A means AB bar. So thus OC dot AB is equal to 0. Therefore, the third pair, that is OCAB, OCAB is also perpendicular. So thus we finish the sum. So this finishes with all possible questions of question number 2 of your textbook miscellaneous exercise. In the next lecture, we will try to deal with certain MCQs which are given of the lesson, and that would be the last part of this lesson of vectors which is there. So as you can see from the length of the chapter, it is quite important, not only this year for this board exam, it is also important with respect to your other exams, and it will come further also if you take up maths in your senior college level actually. Okay, so this is a basic lesson. It is very important to understand vectors in a proper manner. So we meet in the next lecture. Do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for listening also.